Russia may not be a country that is closely associated with Ireland, let alone with the last Tsar of Russia, his family, or the Russian Revolution. Yet for a time, some of the Russian crown jewels found their way to Ireland. Remarkable as it may seem, the story is entirely true. In the early 20th century, much of the world was in turmoil, marked by revolutions and wars, including the Russian Revolution, which began in 1917. Around the same time, Ireland was experiencing its own upheaval, beginning with the Easter Rising of 1916 and leading eventually to the Irish War of Independence, more commonly known as the Tan War. It was during this turbulent period that Harry Boland, a close associate of Michael Collins, the then Director of Intelligence for the Irish Republican Army, came into possession of the Russian royal jewels. These precious items had once belonged to the Tsar and his family before their assassination in 1918. Boland had agreed to hold on to the jewels as collateral for a loan of $20,000 made by the Irish to the Russian government. It was understood that once the loan was repaid in full, the jewels would be returned to Russia. In the meantime, they were to be kept hidden at 15 Marino Crescent in Dublin 3, the home of Harry Boland's mother. Coincidentally, this same house had once been occupied by Dracula author Bram Stoker. At first, Mrs. Boland hid the jewels inside her stove, but as winter approached and the stove was needed to heat the house, she found a new hiding place in an old pair of riding boots. In 1922, tragedy struck when Harry Boland was shot. Before he died, he instructed his family to hand the jewels over to the then President of Ireland, Eamon de Valera. Years later, in 1948, Patrick McGilligan, the Irish Minister for Finance, considered auctioning the jewels and had them appraised by Christie's in London. To everyone's surprise, the jewels were valued at only £1,600, far less than the $20,000 loaned to the Russians. The Irish government then contacted the Soviet embassy, which replied to the Irish High Commissioner in London that, although this transaction had not been done in the proper way, the Soviet government recognised the debt and would repay the $20,000 to Ireland. In a later letter, the Soviet ambassador acknowledged the return of the jewels from the Irish, the same jewels that were once hidden in an old stove in Dublin. These Russian crown jewels now reside in the State Diamond Fund of the Kremlin. Thank you for watching History in the Making, and stay tuned for our next episode.